Need some coins for that God Squad you've always wanted? For fast and cheap coins, check out instantmudcoins.com and use code ZERK for 20% off. Link is in the description.
The whole thing wobbin', wobbin'. When I come around, got the whole thing wobbin'.
What's going on, guys? It's Zirksee coming at you today with another YouTube video, and today I want to go over with you guys really the few changes that are actually in the game right now when it comes to Madden 21 on the next-gen console, and also want to talk to you guys about what I think we could potentially see, slash what I think would actually be good to see, seeing as to currently we have absolutely no information on what is actually going to be in the next-gen. I do want to give a shout out to Aiden Shira for being a part of the Nota Gang. If you guys want a chance to be shout out in the next video, drop a like in the vid, make sure you guys are subbed to the channel, turn the notification bell on, and comment down below Nota Gang. Now, just so you guys can see right here, we are playing on the Xbox Series X. Obviously, it's not in the box because it's plugged in, but I also have got an Xbox Series S, which I will be giving away in December, as well as a PS5 as well for Zirksee, so you guys already know, be on the lookout. But the reason why I'm actually starting here at the main menu for you guys at the press any button is just to show you exactly the few changes to get in the game. Now, one thing I do want to mention, guys, is that Madden 21 right now, and I've gotten this question a lot today as well, this is still the old generation Madden. So really the only things that are actually going to be different currently are not the game itself, but it's going to be the console, what the console actually brings to it, and the difference between the Xbox One and the Xbox Series X. There are some very slight differences between the Xbox One right now and the Xbox Series X until we actually do go ahead and get Madden 21 on next gen, which if you guys didn't know, it does come out to December. I've been getting asked a lot today about, can you even play Madden? Yes, you can play Madden, but you're playing basically the Xbox One version. Basically, you can even play other Xbox games as well, Xbox One games maybe that won't even be coming out on the Xbox Series X, like super old games. It's backwards compatible. Now, I will say the graphics on the Xbox Series X, it really doesn't look any different for Madden. Now, I'm guessing this is because this is, you know, the older gen of Madden. I do expect on the next generation of Madden for it to be better graphics. I'm expecting quite a bit of different stuff. We'll go over what I kind of think we're going to see when it comes to the next gen and everything like that in a minute once we actually go over what is currently different with it. But also, I have played 2K quite a bit today, and 2K, the graphics look pretty dang crazy. But let's go over some slight differences, and one of the main things that I noticed really, and you're going to notice as well, like if you guys have the Xbox Series X right now, probably even the S as well, is that the speed in which you can actually do things right now is a lot quicker. Like if you actually go through the item miner right here, let's say you sort by Elite, and you go down to any card, you hit left bumper to see what the price is, 42K, you back out. You can basically go through the menus a lot quicker, which I will say that is, you know, it's nice. It's a bit of a help there, but aside from that, really the number one thing that gets me excited, and this should get you guys very excited as well, if you are someone that plays a lot of solo challenges, if you are a grinder in general, I mean, this saves you time. How are you going to be upset about that? If you go into any solo challenge at all, let's just head into Rivals right here. We'll go to Challengers, and we'll go to this one right here, which is the best way to go ahead and level up right now. The Challengers gain 50 yards in this drive. Watch how quickly this solo challenge loads. It does not load this fast on the Xbox One. We're in the game. We are in the game that quick. It's pretty crazy. So you guys can see like the on-field stuff. All of this is the exact same because obviously it's not optimized for the Xbox Series X just yet. But I do expect some things to be a little bit different now. Something that I'm kind of hoping that we see when it comes to the next generation Madden is that we do see some differences, some big differences. So the number one thing that is different between the Xbox One and the Xbox Series X right now is obviously going to be the loading time, because it is a more powerful console, and that is big because time is time, right? You can't get time back. So any time saved when it comes to grinding out your solo challenges, when it comes to loading into games, like 2K doesn't even barely have any loading at all, which is awesome as well. And the same thing with Madden, you load into the game very, very quickly. That's obviously really good. Now, aside from just the item binder as well as loading into solo challenges, really the only other difference that I have found when it comes to the Xbox Series X right now is just working the auction house as well. Like going through your item binder, all that stuff, the menus, anything that you would think could potentially get any faster, it is definitely faster when it comes to loading up cards, you know, sitting here refreshing if you guys are trying to like snipe players, whatever. It is going to be a little bit faster than the Xbox One. That's basically all the differences in the game right now. But let me go ahead and talk about exactly what I want to see from the Xbox Series X once we actually do get that next generation of Madden 21. So I do have a list of things I want to go over, and of course, one of the things is going to be better graphics, right? And it's not like the graphics are bad, but when it comes to like the next generation of games, I want to see some improved graphics, and I do think we will see that. I'm kind of hoping that between the next generation of the game and the Xbox One version of the game as well, that we're going to see maybe some different like card arts. I feel like there's a lot they could potentially do to really spice it up. Maybe give us some like specific card arts or more vibrant colors, stuff like that. I really just basic stuff, nothing that's too important to the game, but I do want to see some visual upgrades. Now, aside from just that, I do expect us to see probably some more celebrations in the game, which I will say I don't really care for all that much. But one thing that I think we could potentially see, and I think we will probably see, is a different game. Like, we may see a completely different game between the Xbox Series X and the Xbox One, as well as PlayStation 5 and PlayStation 4 as well. But last time we actually had a new generation of games, which was the Xbox One, of course, and the PlayStation 4, there was a big-time gameplay changes. There was a lot of gameplay changes. I'm really hoping that they do a good job of actually balancing it out. I feel like there's a couple of things right now going on Madden 21 that I don't know if it really comes down to they're trying to work on Madden 21 next gen, there's stuff going on with the current gen, and they're trying to just like split their focus up in between things. But when you're putting out legend cards like Joe Montana, who of course his ability actually does work with the set feet lead, but you still have cards like Derek Carr, his set feet lead doesn't work, which how does that work? How do abilities not work on a specific player? And then, of course, we also had another quarterback come out this week with Steve McNair, and his abilities as well were broken for like 5 or 6 hours, I think, and then EA actually fixed it. So I'm not sure exactly what's going on with that. I think maybe they're taking a little bit of time to go over stuff with that and maybe change some abilities around, change some stuff, kind of spice up the next generation of the game. I think we are going to see gameplay be a little bit different. I will say that if next gen comes out and gameplay is going to be slightly different, what is one thing that I would actually really want to see when it comes to next gen? I think would be for number one, for run defenders to actually play well enough, because honestly, like against the run still, Madden 21 is, some people say it's as bad as Madden 20, but just no one really notices it because you can actually pass the ball as well. Basically, defense got worse. And the number one reason why I feel like defense got much worse is because of the users, right? Trying to user across the middle is a lot harder this year. Middle linebackers are basically useless. In general, linebackers in coverage are basically useless. We have all kind of figured that one out by now, right? So if they can maybe change around the usering a little bit, make usering linebackers or usering safeties, whatever, just slightly better. I know some people aren't going to agree with that take. Some people actually like that. You know, users aren't that great. I personally rather like to use a middle linebacker like Ryan Shazier, like Sam Mills, but you just really can't because it's not good. Also, when it comes to setting the edge with outside linebackers or defensive ends, I feel like you can really just run stretch and dive all game, and you're basically set. On the offense side of the ball, the run game is still really good. I do like how good the passing is this year. I will say that maybe I'm a little bit more, I don't know if that's necessarily biased. I just feel like Madden should be more of a pass-heavy game. Just kind of my take on it. I like passing the ball. I think it's more fun to pass the ball, to dot people up, instead of going ahead and running the ball 25 times a game. It's not saying that's not fun to do. You can definitely do that, but there are people who literally just run the ball 99% of the time, and that's every single game. And to me, I don't find that fun, and I think that you should be able to stop the run and not give up 5-6 yards a carry to the stretch. Now, one big thing as well, and I'm sure you guys will agree with this one too, that is kind of annoying with current gen right now, and I really hope it gets fixed, is the fact that you can't actually compare players. Because when you try to compare players on the auction house, your servers go down. Now, I'm really hoping as well when it does come to the next gen game that they have something in store. I feel like content this year has been pretty solid. I think you guys can agree with that. They've done a pretty good job of giving us consistent content. We do have Team of the Week on Tuesdays. We also have Wild Card on Wednesday. We have Thursday LTDs. We have the 50 on Fridays. And then we have Saturday Legends. I think it's all pretty good. But I would like to see a little bit more and a little bit different stuff, right? I feel like something they stopped doing years ago, and I'm not really sure why they stopped doing it. I guess it was just because obviously it gave out too many coins, I suppose. But double coin weekends and head-to-head was awesome. I would love to see that return as well. Maybe even double XP weekends. We haven't had one of those this year yet. Maybe they'll bring that back. We'll have to see about that. I would love to see them just spice it up a little bit with the content. Maybe bring back some other promos that we haven't had in a couple of years, like Motivators promo. That was awesome. Or bring in something entirely new that maybe they aren't capable of doing on the previous gen consoles, but they can do on the new gen. I think that would be awesome. And as well, just integrate some new features into the game. Maybe even throw in some new abilities into the game, some new card arts, some different promos. I want to see things changed up for Madden 21 in the next gen, and especially the gameplay aspect of things. I feel like, maybe you guys agree with this as well, Madden 21 gameplay was definitely better at the beginning of the year. I felt like it was more fun at the beginning of the year. It was definitely better, and now as we've kind of gone on throughout the year, they continue to patch stuff. Things keep breaking. Dropped interceptions are still an issue, although they did just recently fix that. There was also an issue where you actually couldn't get into the game recently unless you deleted your entire game and reinstalled it if you had PlayStation. That's pretty ridiculous. But with that being said, guys, I hope you did enjoy the video, and if you did, make sure to drop a like on the video, and of course hit that sub button down below. I want to go over the slight changes that are actually available right now on next gen with the Xbox Series X in comparison to the Xbox One right now, and also some stuff that I hope we do see. But I hope you guys enjoyed the video. I'll see you guys next time.